Australians have long made an enormous impact in the world of sport, with some of the best players in the world coming from down under. And recently there's really been an influx, hasn't there, of the Australian prospects making a splash in the NBA. So to talk more about this is Matt Logue, sports journalist and author of Hoop Dreams Down Under, 25 Aussie superstars who have taken American basketball by storm. Great to have you on board this morning, Matt. Congratulations on your new book. I believe you've written two previously. What's motivated you to write this book?
Well, I've always loved basketball. I'm so passionate about it. I used to play as a young guy growing up in Dubbo. I'm very short, but I did my best. But I've always been...
You're a guard.
Little guard, mate. Yeah, I definitely think so, Timmy. But I've definitely always been inspired by the story of Australians in the NBA. Like all Australian athletes, as you mentioned, we tend to bat overs. We put a lot of great work ethic, and to make it in the NBA is not easy. So I wanted to really tap into the individual stories of current players like Ben Simmons, but all the way back to Luke Longley, who was the first Australian drafted into the NBA with Minnesota. He then went on and won 3 championships with the Chicago Bulls alongside the great Michael Jordan. And what I was able to tap into, which I found fascinating, was great stories off the court as well. So Luke, his last club in the NBA was the New York Knicks, and he was there on September 11. And the Knicks facility was still probably a 43-minute drive away from ground zero, but he could still feel the impact. He walked out of the gym and there were like abandoned cars. There were people running everywhere. There were shops with posters up on the walls because everyone just cleared out. And Longley sort of thought, well, geez, this is like World War III. So it was really fascinating to see that. You tap into a lot of other players as well, the likes of Andrew Bogut, who we've seen here at the Sydney Kings. He's a guy that looks like he's pretty fearful on the court, but when he was a young guy growing up, he was bullied heavily. He would get on a school bus.
No one's going to take him on now.
Well,
there it is there, Hoop Dreams Down Under. And look, we punch above our weight in this sport, extraordinarily. What is the perception of Australian basketball overseas, do you think? Because, you know, we have a better reputation than some people might think.
Oh, it's a huge reputation, Timmy. At the moment, like American and the NBA, they love Australian basketballers. We're good teammates, they work hard, they listen, and they're very selfless. So the Australian style of basketball is team first, you pass the ball. In America, obviously, that culture of slam dunks and the superstars like LeBron James, whereas a lot of our basketballers, they're always team first. And I think that Australians, they love that. Americans, rather, they love that. And I think you look at our systems, that the Australian Institute of Sport...
There's scrappers as well, a few of them.
Oh, the Matthew Dellavedovas, the Paddy Mills and those sort of guys. And it also extends to our programs. The AIS deserves huge credit. Like, that's a program that has really paved the way for the current crop of Australians. With a number of almost 30 men that have played in the NBA and 35 women in the WNBA. So there's also 5 women in my book, which I wish I could have fitted in. Lauren Jackson, Michelle Timms, Liz Cambage. There's so many great players over the years. And it all started, thankfully, to this man here, Luke Longley.
Yeah. Wow. What have you learned along the way? Is there a common trend with these Aussies and how they have succeeded in the US? How hard is it to crack into?
Oh, it's so hard. They're the best athletes on the planet in the NBA. It's up there with the English Premier League as the most international competition. So for anyone in the world to make it, it's extremely hard. Australians have made it because of their work ethic. No doubt in the world. There's the talent there. Like, Ben Simmons is a legit talent, and so is all of our Australian basketballs, but it's been underpinned by this just desire and work ethic, and I think that's just such a great message for any young person coming through. No matter what they do, you can make it if you put the hard yards in.
As a country boy, and I've known you for a long time, you were on the rugby league beat for an extraordinary amount of time early on. What's it like to change and do something like this, get on the world stage and sort of peel back the surface and see how something else works? It's
amazing to me. It opens your eyes to the world out there. I love my rugby league, love all sport, but with the basketball, I've been lucky to go over to the NBA and you're courtside seeing these remarkable athletes, 6 foot plus, some 7 foot, dunking and running, and it's just amazing. And to have so many Australians there. I remember watching a pre-season NBA game. It was Melbourne United up against Oklahoma City Thunder, and Melbourne came within 1 basket of winning. And I remember before the game, there was the Australian national anthem, and after the game, this veteran NBA scout came up to all the Australians on the press desk and said, "You Aussies better be proud. Like, you know, you guys have made it. You know, you're killing it." So I think all Australians should be proud of where Australian basketball is.
You should be proud of the book as well, because it's doing well.
It's going out the door, right? Yeah. It's doing well.
Yeah, #1 sports title at Dymocks, so that's very humbling. So yeah,
very proud of you, Matt. Congratulations, mate. Look, a fantastic book. Thanks so much for coming in, and Look, basketball, it's such a unique sport, and the NBA, as you mentioned, you're not only watching these great players, but often at the Staples Centre or Madison Square Garden, or you will see Jack Nicholson, Donald Sutherland, like they're all the big Hollywood stars go and watch.
Absolutely, and we're mixing it with them, so it's fantastic.
Good on you, Matty.
Thank you.